Our brain, and thus we, process better what is of particular relevance for us. That can be facts, of course, but in many cases, stimuli, events, objects that carry emotional meaning are preferentially processed. For a long time, it has been assumed that this processing advantage is limited to a stimuli of evolutionary relevance, like pictures of spiders or depicting snakes. But more recent research has demonstrated rather similar processing advantages also for symbolic stimuli. That is, stimuli that acquired their meaning through learning processes, like for instance written words.
To measure different activation patterns in the brain, the researchers in Schacht's lab record EEG from the participant's scalp surface. In addition, they record hand sweating. Eye tracking gives information about eye movements and pupil size changes in response to various stimuli. These different psychophysiological data are then combined. The processing of words with different emotional meaning is measured in the same way as the reaction to the emotional content of images and faces. Particularly interesting are Schacht's experiments on the relationship of monetary rewards and stimulus processing. The result: money matters.
The most important advantage of EEG is the excellent temporal resolution. And this temporal resolution allows us to address a number of important research questions, such as how long does it take until the brain activates or detects emotional relevance? How are emotional aspects integrated with more cognitive features driven by task environments, for instance? At which processing stage are emotional aspects effective? So how and when do they affect other processes?
Schacht is convinced that cognition cannot be decoupled from emotion and motivation. This also becomes evident when reward systems are introduced in the experiments. We respond faster and more accurately if we can win money. In the EEG measurements, this effect occurs within less than 100 milliseconds, even when the reward is absent at a later time. To find out how important emotions are for our thinking and our actions, Schacht develops novel research questions and experimental approaches.
Our methods allow us to investigate also large samples of participants and thus also to consider individual differences in emotion processing and emotion recognition, such as from the face or the human voice. This together allows us to address one of the most important and fascinating questions, namely, why do humans behave as they do? And I think that emotions and motivations play a crucial role.